I'm Trudy Harrison, MP for Copeland. Millom is my service town. It's a fabulous little town with gorgeous scenery, a rugged coastline and so much to offer. But it is isolated and it has pockets of deprivation, which is why the Department for Levelling Up Homes and Communities have identified Millom as a town for levelling up with over £20 million of Towns Fund funding, which is brilliant. It will drive more tourism. It will see a new swimming pool built for the town. To have this from one government department, but another department drag the town down potentially with a number of HMOs, we don't know the number, but with a response to the asylum dispersal system in that town, it would really contradict what other government departments are trying to do.
Hi, my name is Simone Faulkner. I'm a Town Councillor. I'm also this year very lucky to be the Mayor of Millom, but I'm also a resident in Havering.
Hi, I'm Jed McGrath and I'm actually the Chair of Council for Millom Town Council, and I've been a councillor for over 10 years.
The first time we heard about HMOs was when somebody alerted us to social media. There had been somebody in the town who had been asking a contractor why he was working there, and the contractor said, we're doing HMO. And up to that point, we as a council did not know. Nobody informed us, nobody told us what HMO were going to be like in this town.
I'm Dean Myers. I'm a spokesman for the local community action group. We had a video posted to us about a property developer who was filmed in a house saying that he had 6 HMOs in the town. So from putting the post on Facebook, it just grew arms and legs, and overnight it just expanded. There's now 1,600 people on the group. Elderly, young, everybody in town that we know has got something to say about the lack of amenities that we've got and shops. And we're struggling as it is at the moment with adding to this with HMOs is going to be a really big strain on the community.
There is a belief that social services will be affected. They'll be stretched, overstretched. And at the moment, we have got doctors who are bringing in locums for the moment because there is a lack of doctors in the area. Dentists, we do have a dentist. However, that is fully booked. They've got 4 dentists, I think, that they've recruited. And it's very hard to get onto their register. Millom is a remote town, and poor transport, poor infrastructure means that people are worried that they're going to be left in the queue for these social services. Mental health services, there is a big support group in the town with various groups putting on clubs during the week. But if they need to get better services, or should I say professional services, they have to go to Whitehaven or Barrow. That requires transport. Transport is so expensive.
From the community's perspective, they're very frustrated about the lack of communication on the whole issue of HMOs. You know, this town when the Ukrainian crisis hit, all came together and housed lots of Ukrainian families, but were consulted, and it was a process that everybody got behind. This is an unplanned process that nobody's been consulted on, and that seems to be far outweigh the numbers that we should be taking as a small town. And for the community, from the community's point of view, there's lots of people that understand we have a huge shortage in both social housing and private rented accommodation that is currently forcing residents to have to live outside of the town because there just is such a pressure on that type of housing. So people are seeing these houses being snapped up to be converted and going, well, actually, we'd rather see them converted to house a local family that want to live in Millom. I've spoken to one of the local estate agents that tells me they've got 110 families on a waiting list looking for private rented accommodation in the town.
The group conducted a survey from local residents about the actual housing at the moment, and that was people trying to get on the housing list, the lack of housing, but also some of the conditions that some of the people are actually living in. And the survey come back and it was really devastating to read, to be honest, that people are actually living like this in this day and age, or people were paying really high rent, or people couldn't get the foot on the housing ladder.
I just wanted to share my experience of living in this damp house for 3 years. My landlady has mentioned a couple of times that she was going to address the issue because it's gotten so bad. My kids are constantly unwell and the house is literally full of black mould. I've been on the council housing list for 12 months or more, but haven't been able to find or afford private rent, especially with these prices going up. I search for a new place every day, and I'd love to find a 3-bedroom place for me and the kids where we can be warm and the kids won't get sick. All of this has really frustrated me. I know someone who lives in a damp property where the landlord isn't concerned, and they also have a child. They can't find anything else to move into. The doctors have reported my house to the local council and documented how many times the kids have been ill, yet I still haven't been given a house locally.
On finding out about this issue, council's fact-checked what we're hearing. We've been on to the land registry where we checked all the properties that we've suspected have been going into the ownership of developers for HMOs, to identify really who those developers are. And we've actually written as a council to a number of them and basically voiced the opinion of the community and the pressure of the local services and the problems with the town. And some of those developers have actually admitted that maybe they haven't done their due diligence correctly and have since pulled out a purchase of a number of properties. And look, we've got other developers that are now working with the council to find alternative use for those houses they have bought, and hopefully those will go to local families.
So collaborating with the communities is very important, because we do need to know as a council what the issues are, what their concerns are. So we have met with Dean Myers. We invited him to our emergency council meeting to find out what the real concerns were. We also went as guest to the Tin Chapel, where we met with the community in groups, getting their concerns. And we've also spoken to the police. We're in contact with the police. They have got such a hard job to do for us. They are looking after the safety of the town, but they're also working behind the scenes, which is really important, and they are backing the town 100%. And I think we should take this opportunity to say, a grateful thanks to them. Brilliant job.
Working together lawfully with this group of people, we have really took steps forward. I would just like to thank our MP, Trudy Harrington, Millom Town Council, the police, and most of all, the community.
We have got to pause while I hope common sense prevails. And in the meantime, I would like to give a huge shout out to everybody that is positively and proactively trying to make Millom the best place it can be. It is a fabulous little town, and I very much hope that this has spurred people on from Millom and from wider areas to support its regeneration, because it really has a lot to offer.